Okay, so first question, just if you could tell me your name and what classes you teach and just a little description about each class.
My name's Craig Markarian. I teach two classes. The first class that I teach when I started here at ALBA is History of Art and Architecture. Starts from Roman period 2,000 years ago all the way to present history, current history, pretty much. The other class I teach is called Hands-on Barcelona. It's also an art history class, but it's taken from a totally different approach. It's more of a modern art history. It's 20th, 21st century art history, art and architecture history, and it's a totally different approach. We learn about the art history and the architecture through making, through doing things, through sketching, drawing, and painting. So they're not necessarily they're not art students, art majors, but they use art in order to understand the history. Well, I love interacting with the students. One of the things that I love the most is just seeing, because most of the stuff here is all really fresh for everyone. They've never seen it, they've never learned about it. So when we're finishing a class, when we're done with a certain class and I look at students' faces and they're wowed, or we walk into one of the buildings that we see or we visit, we finish a lecture and the students are wowed and they're amazed. That's probably, I would say, the part that's most interesting to me. Wow, that's an intense question. What motivates me? I think there's just a passion that I have for all the history is so intense and everything is so interrelated. Where we are physically in Spain, in Barcelona, here in the city, all the rich history, and then the fact that there's all the art and architecture here, and that there's this interlacing of all these of history and art and architecture all together, pulling it out and actually starting to make sense of it as the classes progress. It's kind of feeding our own, we're putting ourselves back in time and really making all this stuff come alive, because otherwise you walk through the city and you see, wow, this is amazing, this is amazing, this is beautiful, but there's the class really is what really puts it all together and makes sense of it all. It gives it structure, it gives meaning. So because of the class, I've learned a lot about all that stuff, how you can give meaning to things that otherwise you just look upon as your sort of everyday thing. And I think that's probably what where the motivation is, where the inspiration is, and there's always more. Right? You've got things down pat, you've learned, you've got all the information, but there's always more that you can keep doing and keep pushing and getting more information to help inform the classes. Well, obviously being here in Barcelona and the experience of being here for the 10 weeks or 6 weeks in the case of summer classes, it's such an intense experience for them, being just a small part of that. Because they're here in their school work, part of their university experience, obviously it's part of their regular education. But the fact that there's this connection to the city, specifically here, I think there's a side that we always end up having at the end of the course, where it becomes personal and emotional in a way, because of that tie of place and time and history. There's that personal connection with them. So that's the sort of thing I hope that they can always take away from them, from the experience, that they've been able to really connect with the place and time and always take away that memory with them after they're done.